Hey guys, so we're going to be talking about the books I plan to read in March. Half of these are rollovers from February because if you've seen my last video, I wasn't able to do a lot of reading in February. So, yeah, let's just get into it. Two of the rollovers are kind of like ebooks, so we'll talk about those first. First one, which I'm currently reading, is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell, and the other one is Dream, Die and Repeat. This is on Kindle Unlimited. I do plan to get to this one quite shortly, and that includes this one because this one I was so annoyed with myself for putting off so long. And the thing is that I recently read the second chapter, which is in the point of view of Amy, which is our present main girl, and that kind of has just made me a little bit more intrigued to read it. So yeah, Carry On, Dream, Die and Repeat and The Divided are all on top of my list, as well as Book Lovers, which was another book I wasn't able to read last month, which I kind of did want to because I've been iffy about this one because I didn't enjoy the first book I read by Emily Henry, which was Beach Read. I think it was 3 out of 5 stars, so I'm not really entirely sure. But my sister got me this and I want to do it justice by giving it a try. The final book which I do own is Let's Talk About Love. Again, I wasn't able to read this during the month of February and I'm upset about this. This is my sister's copy as well, so I kind of need to give it back to her. So yes, those are all the rollovers. I kind of just sped through them anyway, so I'm not doing any more talks about that. If you want to know a little bit more about these books, see my February TBR video. And now we move on to the library haul of books, because I went to the library for the first time in a long time actually, and just for some reason I just went around and picked up a whole bunch of books. There were some books I did put back, and this was just the odd few. One that I may not get to this month is the Midnight Library, just because I do have a lot of books on my TBR already, and this isn't one I'm itching to pick up right away. So I don't know, we will see about this one. The other book I want to quickly mention before I get into these, which is because it's kind of actually links to the fact I have 2 vampire novels, is this book club that I'm kind of a part of. The book that was actually picked was Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This is a book I actually do want to pick up. Whether or not I'll read it this month is a different matter, but I still want to pick it up. So yeah, so that along with Young Blood by Asher Lawrence, as well as My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenny Levy. So I've seen some other people read this on YouTube, and a few of them have not really liked it as much, but I still wanted to give it a try because it looked cheesy, and obviously it seems vampires are making a bit of a comeback, and I want to see in comparison, because I didn't read Twilight growing up. I never read it, and I don't plan to, so don't try and get me to start reading it. But vampires were just a big massive hype, and obviously they're kind of making a bit of a comeback, so I wanted to see how that held up. So My Roommate with a Vampire by Jenny Levine, I think that's how you pronounce it, basically follows Cassidy Greenberg, who needs a new place to live and fast. When she finds an affordable apartment in a beautiful neighbourhood, she knows there must be a catch. turns out the cat is her new roommate, Frederick J. Fitzgerald. That is a name, I will say that. Apparently he's far from normal, he sleeps all day, is out all night on business, and talks like he's walked out of a Renaissance romance novel. Great. He also leaves Cassie heart-melting notes around the apartment. Always asks about her day and doesn't look half bad shirtless on the rare occasions they're both home and awake. There's no denying there's a spark between them, but there's also a secret with true love at the stake, pun intended. Will Frederick come clean? I do like the cover. I will admit, like, just how like it's all like it's sort of like the opposites attract sort of thing. So yeah, and then the other vampire novel that I have is Young Bloods. This one I actually recently put on my TBR. I think at the start of this year. So essentially, high school sucks, especially for the undead. Makes sense. When Kat Finn arrives at Harcourt, I think that's how you pronounce it, she's in uncharted territory. She's suddenly thrust into the alluring world of elite vampires, and her fortune is about to change. And help me the cat. Taylor Sanger is tired of the vampire world's out-of-touch views, especially as an out-and-proud lesbian. I can imagine so. She's willing to fly under the radar for 2 more years at Harcourt, but Kat's arrival changes everything. Kat and Taylor were once best friends, and it didn't end well. A horrifying discovery means they have to set their differences aside and investigate the deep secrets at Harcourt and the conspiracy underpinning all of vampiredom. As they investigate, will their old friendship be rekindled into something more? And so that sounds all good in itself, but I just want to say I love this cover. Like, I don't know what it is, I just like this type of illustrational cover. Like, I know that a lot of people don't like it when there's people on the cover, but I just love this art style. So credits where it's due. I don't think there's the art credits. Cover art / photo was by Kevin Wada. Kevin Wada. So kudos to him, I think. And then the cover art / photo was by this person, and then the cover design was by Maria Bazzo. So kudos to them. Really good on the job. And we're gonna quickly move on to the Guncle. I think that's how you say it, by Stephen Rowley. So this one, kind of like how I learnt about this one, I saw a couple of people reading this on BookTube, and loads of people, some people, I think the person I did see this with, really enjoyed it, and because I was in a bit of a reading slump, I thought this might be a good one to pick up and help get back into it. So essentially, Patrick O'Hare is a bit out of his league. Patrick, or gay Uncle Patrick, also known as Gump for short, has always loved his niece Maisie and nephew Grant. That is, he loves spending time with them when they come out to Palm Springs for a week-long visit, or when he's home, or when he heads home, to Connecticut for the holidays. So when tragedy strikes, and Patrick finds himself suddenly taking on the role of primary guardian, he is honestly overwhelmed. I honestly would be too. Patrick has no idea what to expect, having spent years barely holding on to the loss of his great love, a somewhat stalled acting career, and a lifestyle not so suited to a 6 and 9-year-old. But when his waggish set of Guncle rules no longer appease Maisie and Grant's parental void, Patrick's eyes are open to a new sense of responsibility and the realization that sometimes even being larger than life means you are unfailingly human. And I think that last bit is kind of like a good message, is like you're unfailingly human. is kind of just like a good message in itself. And the final book I'm going to talk about is The Haunting of Therese Walker by J.P. Rose. So I picked this up because I thought I remembered hearing someone talk about it, but I could be wrong. But the main reason I actually picked it up was actually in one part of the synopsis. So after a shocking event leaves Therese struggling with grief, he's taken to visit family in Jamaica. From the first night, strange things start happening. Impossible visions, blackouts, swarms of insects, and the discovery of a grave hidden deep in the forest. Therese can't explain what's going on, and he's scared that he's losing grip on reality. I would be too, to be honest. When Therese is warned he's being hunted by a mysterious shadow man, under threat, Therese and his friends set out on a terrifying journey across the islands to try and discover the shadow man's sinister history. Who can Therese trust when his own mind is falling apart and there's nowhere left to hide? So the main reason I picked this up is it's literally for the entity of the shadow man, because I have a fascination with shadow people. Like don't get me wrong, if I found out that the place I'm living in is haunted, whether it would be if it was a ghost, yeah, it's still gonna be scary. Same if it was a poltergeist. Like, poltergeists can literally throw shit around. They can even strangle you. They can hurt you. But for me, the idea of waking up and seeing just a black shadow anywhere in your room and then it just disappearing, that part scares me. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I remember when I was a little bit younger, I always used to like try and look for the top 5 shadow people ghost videos, just to see, because something about it just like really intrigues me, but it still terrifies me. So yeah, that was the reason I picked this up. So that is literally all the books that I would like to try and get to this month. Obviously there's probably going to be some rollovers with this. I'm hoping to get through at least most of my library books, but I'd also like to get through some of my physical reads as well as the 2 ebooks I have. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. It could go horribly wrong, like it did last month. It could go really well, just not, but also it could go really well and not be great. But we'll see. I've been talking long enough, so we'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.